Usher, you know who Usher is. He is probably one of the most popular R&B singers of all time. When you think about how many hits the man has had and how long he's remained relevant for, it's pretty impressive. I mean, even after the 2000s, which I would probably say consists of his best songs and best work, he still managed to stay relevant even after that as well, with the club boom era in the early 2010s that he jumped on and managed to keep consistently popular with, you know, tracks like OMG, Scream. I think it's pretty fair to say that Usher is at his best when he's doing the really like slick R&B type stuff. He certainly doesn't make albums as great as someone like a D'Angelo, but he can really do a good track like Confessions and Climax. Although, yeah, from 2004 is like his best song and like the best pop song ever. Fucking ever. But honestly, since like 2012, I don't know if he's really had any major hits. I mean, has he? I can't think if he has. That song Good Kisser was pretty good, but I don't think it was a hit or like a hit. But yeah, it's kind of weird to think that you look at the charts right now and it's just flooded with R&B. Like you can't escape R&B anymore, and somehow Usher isn't part of it. You'd think he'd managed to keep relevant, but he kind of hasn't. It's a bit weird. I mean, if a popular song isn't an R&B song, then it's a hip hop song blended with R&B. That just seems to be the way things are these days. So you would think that Usher would be able to usher his way back in. And so it seems he's actually aiming to do that with his latest release, which is a collaboration project with the producer Zaytoven. Now, it's certainly a great way to stay relevant or come back into relevancy by working with someone like Zaytoven. You know, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna work with Zaytoven. You're gonna work with Metro Boomin or any other name that's like really popular and trendy right now. So you can see what Usher's going for here. And I don't know if this is a bad little release here, but it certainly isn't enjoyable. Like, I got really little to nothing from this. All I got from this album was Usher's vocals. Like, that was the only consistently great thing throughout this entire thing, and it's only like 27 minutes long, but it sure felt old by the end of it. Like, I was ready to turn it off after a few songs, I'm not gonna lie. Like, just the production just sounded really just ordinary. Like, it sounds like I've heard this 100 times before. We have Future on the first track. Future does his same thing that he's done 1,000 times before. And yeah, like, every moment of this album that could have lured me in just left me thinking, yeah, I'm bored of this sound. And to be honest, I feel like this project could go either way. Like, it'll either produce a really solid hit, or it'll just leave people thinking the same thing I thought and go, yeah, it's fine, it sounds okay, but it's just like everything else I've heard already. The thing is like, you know, with Usher, like, he's never had the most original sound, but he certainly brings charisma wherever he goes. So like, even with tracks like Scream, sure, it sounded like everything else of the time in 2012, but it had that Usher feel to it. It had that kind of sexy, you know, smooth approach with the lyrics and stuff. I can't really say I love that song, but I would say it sounds better than most of the dance tracks from that time. But I don't really know why, but the only thing I can say is that it's because it had Usher on it, and he's at least a good singer. And that's all you get from this project. Like, that's it. Even the lyrics most of the time, like, are just so painfully ugh to listen to. Song Birthday. What is this song? Like, what is he on about in these lyrics? You can have it your way for your birthday. I can eat your cake for your birthday. Jesus Christ, man. It's just so painfully, like, icky to listen to, you know? Like, it's just one of those things where, like, you hear something that's been said so many times in a song before. It's like listening to a fucking country singer talk about their whiskey. Like, it's just like, I don't want to hear this ever again. And you're making me hear it, aren't you? You're making me have to listen to this. So, lowest common denominator, and Oh, it's really bad. Like the last track is probably the worst one with the Gunner, who I don't really know anything about, but this guy's starting to appear in multiple different places that I don't really want to have to hear of him over and over again. Like this guy is not anything special at all. Like this hook on the track is so weak. Usher can sing, why doesn't he just sing the hook? You know, like just give it to him. We don't need these really generic trap rappers featured on your songs, Usher. Like you don't need this. You just make something original, and it would have gone over so much better. People would love it, but not this. What's weird as well about most of this project, it just sounds copied and pasted from the Beast Mode mixtape that came out this year, Beast Mode 2. Like some of these beats just sound like they came from that, and it's like these aren't for Usher. Like they're not for him. This sound, this blend of sound shouldn't be what Usher's going for. Like I don't think it's the right idea for him. It's not that they sound terrible, but it's just like he's completely overshadowing every track. Like there's just no way these songs ever work because he's just the best part. And then he's singing these lyrics that are just so gugh as well. It just makes the whole thing just nah. Just a bit of a shame to me that he's stooping to this kind of level, you know. I guess every now and then artists, you know, fade a little bit. They probably need that little boost of relevancy to keep them going. And the only way they can do it is be trendy as fuck. And that's kind of what we got here. So yeah, I think I'm going to go 4.5 with this. I mean, I don't think it's like a terrible album, but just the letdown feel of it makes me want to go like a 4.5. Like, 'cause I think Usher is good. I think he's a good artist. I don't think he needs to be making this kind of music, and just how everything sounds so out of touch and out of date. Even though it's a trendy sound, like it's just something so off about this entire project. It's not terrible, but I do think it isn't good. Let me know your thoughts on this. Perhaps I was a bit too harsh. You might like it more than me, but certainly not something I'm gonna ever want to listen to. Let me know your thoughts, comment below, subscribe if you've never subscribed. If you've never subscribed to any channel ever, subscribe to me. Have a good day.